Hello guys, so in this video I'll be showing us how to cut and sew a bustier with armhole princess style line. And yeah, it's a very simple tutorial actually, but some people think it's difficult, so I'm just showing us how to do that now. So the first thing you want to do is to get your pattern paper and draw certain lines. So the first line is the shoulder line, then your shoulder to chest line. So I'm doing 8.5, depends on your size. Shoulder to the bust point, then you have shoulder to the under bust, mine is 14. Shoulder to your waistline. Okay, then I have my shoulder measurement marked already, half of it, which is 7.5 on the chest and the shoulder line. Okay, so I'll just link it together. So you're marking half of your shoulder measurement on the shoulder and the chest line, as you can see, right? Okay, so now next thing, we're going to mark half of your bust span. So mine is 4. Bust span is your nipple to nipple measurement, so you mark half of it, right? Now let's quickly draw the neckline. So I'm just doing 4x4 for the neckline. It's not a fixed value, please, because our concern is the bustier, not the neckline. But let's just do 4x4. Okay, so I'll use my French curve to draw the neckline, and then I'll mark 1 inch on my shoulder line so that I can get my shoulder slants. Okay, so I'll just draw my shoulder slants like so. Then my French curve, I'll use it to draw the armhole, the curve of my armhole. Okay, so it's a very straightforward tutorial. It's not really hard. Okay, like this. Okay, now I'm going to join the bust span measurement, the one I joined on the waistline and on the chest line. Okay, so I just run a straight line. Can you see that? Then you don't want your bustier to be pointed the way some people's one is always, always pointed. So I will go up by 1 inch from my bust point. Okay, so I'll just come up by 1 inch. Sorry guys, I didn't measure it. I just use my eye to gauge it. So that's my 1 inch from the bust point. Then I want to find the midpoint of my shoulder. Okay, so shoulder to chest for my slanted shoulder line, it's about 3 point something. So I just used 4. So I'm linking that point to the point where I marked 1 inch above the bust point line. You can see that. Okay, so now we're going to introduce our darts. Before we do that, on the chest line, I will mark quarter of my bust circumference. So my bust is 38. Quarter of that will give me 9.5. So I'll mark 9.5 on my chest line, and I'll mark the same thing on the waistline. Okay, I'm not using waist measurement yet, so if I join it together, I'm going to have a straight line. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll now find quarter of my waist measurement. My waist is 30. Quarter of that will give me 7.5. So 9.5 minus 7.5 will give me 2 inches. So that means I have 2 inches to take in for my darts, if that makes sense. It means that everybody cannot use 2 inches. Okay, so mine is 2 inches. So I'll just mark 2 inches on the other side of my bust span line. Okay, same thing with the under bust line. So for my under bust and my waist are the same thing, which is still 30. Quarter of 30 is 7.5. So I still have 2 inches, difference between quarter of my bust and quarter of my waist, if that makes sense. So I'm also marking 2 inches here. For some people, the difference between their quarter of waist and bust might not be 2. Some people might be 1.5, some people might be 2.5, depends. Okay, so I'll just link it together like that. Okay, then I don't want my bust area to be pointed. I also come down from 1 inch from the bust points. Then I'll link it to my under bust like this. Okay, so obviously our bust is not, it doesn't look like this curved. So I will use my French curve now to, draw out all the curves, and then it's not looking like a bust, so yeah, so I'm just going to, now before I blend the upper parts, there's something we call gaping, like that something the cloth folds around the armhole. So I'll just mark 1 inch down from where I have the princess style line. Okay, then I'll connect that to the point above the bust point, this point here. You see that? Okay, so even if you're doing a shoulder princess, that there's a way we can also manipulate the data that you don't have gaping or folding Okay, so once I do this, I'm not going to blend the bust area like this. So now it's not looking like a bustier. No, it's not looking all squared and all. Can you see that? So I'm not going to shade the part that we're going to be cutting out. Okay, and then one more thing we need to do is we also need to add our what's it called, our bust dart. So depending on the type of basic bodies you normally use, my own basic bodies pattern overall has a bust dart. Okay, so my bust dart is 2 inches. Okay, so from the bust point line, okay, I'll just mark 2 inches down. Then I will link that to my bust points. Okay, like this. So I'm also going to shade it because I'm going to be cutting that part out, right? So then the last step now is we're going to fold in the dart on the princess star line. So for some of us that have been sewing princess darts, you notice that when you're sewing, so you discover that one, the center front piece is longer than the side piece. Then you start trimming it. It's so wrong. So what you have to do is you fold the pattern on the paper. So when you fold it like this, like you're closing the darts, okay, you now find out that, the armhole doesn't align again. So what you have to do is you take your French curve, okay, and redraw the armhole, okay. So you see what I'm trying to see now. So you put your French curve like this, right, and reshape the armhole. Please, if you're following my tutorial, just like the video and drop a comment in the comment section, please. Okay, so once I do this, okay, automatically by the time I cut out the center front and the side piece and I'm joining it together, it will be equal. Can we see? So I've already made up for that excess that we're always cutting out. We know ourselves now. So now I'm just trying to still blend up a little bit. So now I will cut out. So this is my center front, which will be cut on fold, okay, and this is my side piece. Okay. Guys, it's not easy to do a video. Okay, so here I'm cutting out the side piece, right? And then my basic bodice pattern has a bust dart. I'm just going to close it that like this with my sellotape, and I'll also do a little bit of blending on the side seam, and that's all about the pattern. It's a very simple tutorial actually. So like I said, please, the dart on the waist is not equal for everybody. It depends on your measurements. Okay, so here is my pattern here. Now to cut out the pad, okay, what you want to do is you want to mark, you want to place the side and center front together, mark a point so that when you are cutting out the pad, it will be equal, and then the padding will stop at the under busts. Okay, yeah, so this is my fabric here. So first thing first, you need to put stay on the Ankara just to make the Ankara fabric stable. Then you can see my pad. You see, so I use bra foam, you can use wadding. So this is it here. So you can see round, it doesn't get to the side seam. Then on the center piece, can you see it's on fold rather, okay, and of course the other side. So that's it. Then make sure you notch so that you know where to the princess style line stops when you're sewing. Okay, look at what I'm talking about here. Make sure you notch the fabric. So for the sewing, I advise you to start from down. Yes, it's easy to sew the fabric easily, and then follow the curve of the side piece, and then use pins. Is very, very important. So when you do this, you don't have to start trimming after sewing, because when you're trimming, you are tampering with the measurements, so just to sewing it, I'm sure once you do this, you're going to have that bustier. Yeah. Personally, honestly, I never like all these padding things. Honestly, that's a personal opinion, but I'm a tutor. I have to know how to do a lot of things for people that want to learn. But personally, I really don't like all this whole padding of a thing. Honestly, I prefer to wear my clothes unpadded. Anyway, that's me. So after doing this, you have to iron it, and then this is the final outcome. This is it. Like if you do this, you don't even need to wear bra, and you can wear this comfortably. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my pep talk and my tutorial. If you found this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment, share. Just encourage me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.